Okay, welcome back to Cubs and Culture for 12/18/2018. Um, uh, Tom Ricketts is the chairman of the Cubs, claims that they're out of money for the year, so whatever. I doubt they're signing anything else. It's been basically a whole bunch of minor league deals for bullpen pieces. In any case, we're up to 2007's No Country for Old Men. This is probably the biggest change in opinion, because I was not all that thrilled with this film when it first came out. I think it was residual dislike of the Oscars, because I was still sort of pissed off at Brokeback Mountain losing out to Crash. Anyway, with that being said, I really do like No Country for Old Men. I don't think it was the best of the year. That would be There Will Be Blood or even Atonement, but it's a very solid movie. I think the other reason why I had trouble connecting to it is I find it somewhat atypical for the Coen brothers. It is sort of darkly funny, but it's mostly a crime story. It's not like as laugh out loud funny as like parts of Fargo. It's more humorous after you think about the thing. Anyway, let me bring up the trailer. I think of it as a western, though I think most people would think of it as a crime story. It's a cat and mouse between a ranch welder who finds $2.4 million in the desert from a drug deal going bad, and then Sugar Anton, played wonderfully by Javier Bardem, chasing him down while Tommy Lee Jones is investigating the drug deal going bad. And it's a very it sort of turns the Western genre inside out, in that the villain gets away. None of the characters are really good, as in morally good, etc. Everyone's sort of self-serving, and it's mostly centered on the chase, and it's mostly about how the West was never really tamed. It's always been chaotic. It will always be chaotic. The No Country for Old Men, the country there is actually always the West. And Tommy Lee Jones' story is all about him coming to terms with the fact that the West was never truly settled. I really, really end up liking this film. Rewatching it this time, it's absolutely wonderfully engaging. It's a taut, gripping film where you're constantly on the edge. All the characters aren't really sympathetic, but you all sort of understand where they're coming from, etc. And directorially, it's very Coen Brothers, because it's filled with mathematically beautiful compositions. And then with Roger Deakins is sort of pushed into pseudo noir, and so it ends up being a very visually engaging film. And then that whole thing with Anton, that character, I'm saying the name wrong, Sugar, I think is how you say it, is he's in the category. That's a very I don't know if it's in the book. I've not read the book, but that's a very very, very, very Coen Brothers touch. So if it is in the book, I understand why they preserved it. In any case, I really think this is a good example of directors who are and writers working outside of a little bit of their comfort zone, creating a very good film. I don't feel like it's a career award. I think it's just a very standout film. Anyway, there's that. Now let me bring up something. The best part of the movie, in my mind, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks this, Sugar, played wonderfully by Javier Bardem. He's absolutely, he's not psychopath. He's cold and deliberate, and he sees himself as the hand of fate, which is why he does the coin flip thing. and everything like that. So let me bring up this one scene, because he's injured here, because he just got into into a shooting match with the guy, Brolin's character, who has the money, and he's trying to track the money down. Excuse me. And so he needs medical supplies. And so he's gonna set off an explosion here so he can steal, which is very, very clever. And the other thing about this character and performance, and also sort of the movie, is there's not a lot of dialogue. So a lot of it is just pure cinema and pure acting, and there's something very Bardem's performance is very, very menacing, and that haircut is sort of terrifying because in one it looks very 70s, and very, very awful, but also he seems just like a guy, where he seems much more almost indistinct, and then he seems much more just like malice personified, and it's such a great performance. And because there's not a lot of scenes with him speaking, he's somewhat hard to fully appreciate what exactly his cult of morality is. There's some indications like that scene where he the coin flip scene, and I guess he's also clearly a very intelligent person, sorry. And this scene once right here is a good way of showing that. It's such a great sort of villain. I actually think he's like sort of better than Hannibal Lecter, because even though obviously he has sort of all the qualities that we sort of associate with sort of Western masculinity: self-reliant, stoic, his own sense of morality, but he's monstrous. Something has gone monstrously wrong with that character. As an interesting aside, this is the second film behind West Side Story where direction was shared, because when West Side Story was always a special case, direction was always supposed to be one. The Coen brothers always co-directed films, even though their credits don't say that because of the union rules. As soon as the union rules change, they put co-credits. So what they used to do is, because they both of them were writers and directors and producers, and I don't remember which one. I guess I could just look up Fargo. Fargo would let me know. Is one of them would be listed. Here is the cast and crew. Yeah. So Joel Cohen, yeah, that's how they would do it. So you notice that Joel Cohen and Ethan. So producing was never really. So the Joe Cohen would be the one who was credited as director, and then Ethan would be credited as the first writer and then producer. So that's how they used to handle it. But they actually, when No Country for Old Men, the union rules changed in the Directors Guild of America, so they could be co-directors. Anyway, that's going to be it. See you guys in a second.